Hey y'all, Bridget Bartlett here. I am the local business marketing training and support specialist with Builderall. And today is part two of our web agency training, or really like full-blown digital marketing training. So it's totally up to you if you want to offer web design or, a million other things. Really, with 40 plus tools, we could have an agency like created around every single one of those tools. So what we're going to do here is we're going to talk about last week we talked about like how to find customers or clients. We went through the whole customer journey, but what do you do once you find your client, right? So you have to do a consultation because you have to figure out how, meeting with this client, you have to figure out, well, how can I help them? And what do I need to know in this consultation to be able to help them? So let me go ahead and share my screen. So, are they DIY or DFY? So, DIY is simply do it yourself, and DFY is do it for you. Okay. So, DIY clients, they are the ones who they don't want to pay. Okay. They don't want to pay for anyone to do it, usually because they just can't afford it. These are people that are usually running their business outside of their home. So, like plumbers or HVAC guys, or a lot of construction companies, lawn care businesses, they all run their business outside of their home. So when you're talking to them and you determine, okay, this is definitely a DIY client. They are going to want the hands-on option. Okay, they're not going to be able to afford to pay you $1,000 a month or $400 a month, right? So you want to offer them basically Builderall. This is where you say, okay, great, I have these awesome tools. You can be, this is the hands-on approach is what I call it. So offer them a template. You can use the niche funnels that we have available. You can offer to customize them, connect a domain. You can create an email list, and you can actually create a professional email for a one-time fee. So even if you're offering them their DIY, they want to do it themselves and manage it themselves, you can still offer a one-time fee of maybe $200 to take this template that you're going to give them, connect their domain to it. Basically, you're setting up their whole Builderall account for them so that they can just start to manage. So that's a great way to upsell what would traditionally be just a standard affiliate offer. You can also use that to, once you sign them up for Builderall, now you're getting reoccurring income, whether you do anything for them or not. But the great thing is you've already built a rapport with them. They already trust you. They're going to come to you every time they need something. So sending them emails to offer other services and things, that you can provide for them will help you stay in contact with them, but also let them know like, hey, now you're to a point where you need email marketing, so I can do this for you, and basically just keep the line of communication open. So if they are a done for you client, so this is what I'm calling hands off approach. These are the clients, they do not care about Builderall. If they don't even want to Google Builderall, they have no desire to learn to create their own website. They have no desire to manage it or send emails. They don't want to do any of this. And these are usually the people that can afford your services. So we're talking doctors, lawyers, accountants. These are the people that have usually brick and mortar businesses. So that's a great way to also kind of weed through. If you don't want to do the done for you clients, then definitely focus on HVAC guys, all these people that are running their businesses from their homes. So something else, what can you offer the DIY client? So you're in your consultation and you're talking to them and you're going through the customer journey, and you want to tell them like, okay, as we scroll through this customer journey, here's what your reviews look like. Do you have email marketing going out? Maybe we need to recreate your website, or if you don't have one, we want to create one for you. Let's do social media management, SEO, funnel creation, paid advertising. These are all things that you can talk about in your consultation and see, what do they think? And a lot of times they really have no idea, and they're relying on you to tell them what they need. Okay. So once you get this, done for me client or done for you, you want to create, especially if you're doing web design, you want to create a sub account. So when you create the sub account, I'm going to show you how to do that in just a minute. You're going to want to do this kind of in like a white label, as a white label option. So you're not saying, hey, let me create a sub account for you on Builderall, and then, you can pay $5 a month. That's what you're going to pay. But that's not what you're going to tell your client, right? You're going to tell them, we offer web hosting, so we can host your website for you after we've created it. And it's going to be, $50 a month. And then you are going to send them an invoice. You can also create a product in the super checkout. Again, I'll show you that in just a second. Or you can just send them invoices. I love Stripe, or if you use super checkout, because you can actually connect your website to a button, just send them there and they can just check out that way, and then it'll like reoccur bill them. So the super checkout, or using something like Stripe where you can they store their credit card and every month you can bill them. That's what I prefer to do, because I really don't want to take the time to chase clients down every single month. And in reality, even if they intend to pay you, they're busy, they're all over the place. So I like to say, look, I love for my marketing services to be as worry-free as possible. So let's just store your card on file. I'll bill you every month. They're expecting it. Then once it's paid, I send them a receipt. So I say worry-free, but really it works both parts. It's worry-free for me, but also for them as well. And a lot of times, especially if you're doing social media, sometimes you have to hire someone to do those services, and you want to make sure that you get paid, right? So love the reoccurring billing, definitely recommend that. If you do set up a sub account, you can use your own premium tools to add to their website, like with an iframe. So the booking calendar and chat bots, you can host all of these things on your own premium account. And that's why the sub accounts don't need these extra things. And I'm going to show you what is in the sub account in just a second too. And then of course, just like the do it for me or the DIY customer, you want to send them emails and offer other services. So just like we're doing affiliate marketing, you want to follow up with them on a regular basis and say, hey, maybe once a month when you send them the receipt for their invoice, then say, hey, I noticed that you needed this and this, and, we can talk about this, meet with them, ask them, what are you struggling with? How can I help you automate some things that are taking a lot of your time? Talk to them and say, what are your problems? How can I help? Because that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to help them by being the solution to their problem. So let me stop screen sharing here. I'm actually going to, first I'm going to see if you guys have any questions so far. Any questions? Nope. All right. So now what I'm going to do is we're going to talk about, share my screen here. Okay, so the clients who want to do it themselves, the clients who cannot afford your services, if you go to the niche funnels here, all you have to do to share this niche funnel, okay, whether you're running paid ads or you're looking for people in Facebook groups, like say you go to a photographer group, what are the chances they need more clients? Okay, so you have some options as how to use this. If you copy your affiliate link and then you just go open a new page, you could share with them this affiliate link. And what this is going to do is they're going to sign up here. They're going to be in your email list. The thing I don't like about this is it's all branded to Builderall. So if you are trying to have an agency, you want to brand yourself, right? But this is an option. So if you don't have, you've never created a website before and you're like, I really, it's my first month with Builderall, I really just want to make some money. This is a great way to offer something free to someone. So if you go to the photographer groups or you go to any, real estate or any of these niche funnels, you can say, hey, if you need a new website or a new sales funnel, or what they're calling it here, a customer magnet, you know, I can give you this for free. So you're not spamming them, you're giving them something that they're already needing and looking for, okay? But another cool thing about this is you can actually download this funnel. So if you click here to download, you just click confirm. And then this ends up in your Cheetah back office. So now you can, let me refresh. So now you can actually do anything that you want with this funnel. You can take away that builder all branding. You can put your own brands on here. You can do anything that you want with this funnel because now it's yours. Okay. And one thing that I have done is I actually have customized this page here, which is the thank you page, to put in my template shop. And I'm talking all about that this week. So I'm not going to go too deep into the details of a template shop and all that, because if you guys want to know, go ahead and join my group. You can do that in the knowledge base. And I'm doing literally step by step to show you. So what I did to brand myself is I took this same exact template here. Oops. And then I actually, that was my old one. Let me see. So this is what it would look like. So this is what they are going to get after they opt into this photographer funnel, okay? They're going to get the instructions of how to set it all up, because you definitely don't want to just send them directly to the template, because they need to have a Builderall account. So you can set up the first page as a magic funnel, send them here, they get all the information that they need, and then you can, you know, and then now you have this lead, right? Of course, you want to follow up just like everything else. But what I did was, let me go back to the one that I did here. Not that one. Okay, so what I did is, because if you create a template shop or you want to brand your own business, you definitely don't want all the Builderall branding on there. And if you're going to replicate this many times, why not make it generic? Whereas this one is, you know, here's the photographer picture, here's this picture. So it's like this, you can really only use for photographers. But if you just customize this, let me actually get rid of this here. If you customize it, then now all I have to do is just change step 3 to link to whatever funnel I'm sending them to. So this can be used for real estate, it can be used for dentists or, you know, photographers, or any of the other niche funnels, or any funnel that I create myself. I can use the same thing. Now, if you think about the psychology of this, the customer or client that's getting this, the chances are they're going to want to be a part of the group, right? Because now they're a business looking to learn to promote their own business. So that's why I put this here. I mean, you guys can do whatever you want. If you don't have the embed code, you can just put an image and a link. But I did give this template in my group as well today during the training. So if you go to the group, you can get that as well. So that is how you can make money for the customers who don't want to hire you as an agency, okay? But maybe you don't want your client to know anything at all about Builderall. So here's what you can do. You can use the agency funnels. Let me click here. And you can actually, let me close that. So you have some options here for an agency, okay? And what I did earlier is I downloaded this funnel, but if you, again, you wanna go to mechanic groups or music teacher groups, or maybe you just wanna go to a local business group and you know, you see that there is a financial coach or there's a delivery driver or mechanic who are posting about, hey, how do I get leads for my business? You know, that's a great way to say, hey, you know, I can help you with this. And you are positioning yourself with this funnel as, hey, I'm an expert in, you know, promoting auto body shops or whatever. So I downloaded this funnel today because I want to show you how you can actually use this website to set up your hosting through Super Checkout. So let me go back here to, let me close out of this. Sorry, the little Zoom thing up there, it blocks my screen. Okay, so here's what it looks like when you download, okay? And it kind of looks confusing because there are lots of pages here. So here is what your home page is going to look like. Let me just open this up because it's actually a super cool design that I love. So it's very modern. I really love it. And the point of this website is to position yourself as an authority, as someone who is, you know, an experienced agency. And the goal or the call to action for this website is not to sign them up on Builderall. You don't want, see, if you scroll through here, you want to customize all this. You don't want to promote Builderall. You want to promote your own business. So what you're going to do is you are going to, you know, run ads to this or whatever you want to do. And then the goal, get the consultation. And in the consultation, you're going to decide, are they a, you know, DIY person or a DFY person, you know, and then you're going to go from there. Okay. So you're not, if they're DFY, then you want to say, okay, yeah, that's great. We're going to create your website. And then, you know, we have the hosting. Well, when you have hosting, this is what everyone asks me all the time in the group. Okay. How do you do the sub accounts? How do you do the billing and all of that? So the sub accounts, basically the thing that's cool about the sub accounts is when you have a premium account, you get 15 domains within that premium account. But if you are hosting websites as an agency, you're going to burn through those 15 domains really fast. So what you can do is once you've used that, you can actually create a sub account for $5 and you get, you know, 500 disk space, you get 1 domain, 5 subdomains, you get access to the Cheetah website builder, the CRM, Mailing Boss up to 2,000 subscribers. You can create a professional email for them. You can even send them, once you create the email, you can send them the Rainloop link so they can access their professional emails, or you can redirect them just like we can with anything else, okay? So to create that sub account, you're not saying, again, okay, yeah, well, client, you know, Billy Bob Plumber, yeah, we're going to go ahead and host that for you. Let me go ahead and set up your account. They don't know anything about a sub account. At this point, you don't even tell them anything at all about Builderall, okay? So let me actually stop sharing. You're not giving them access to a sub account. You are not telling them, I'm going to create a sub account. You are not doing anything with the sub account that your client is going to know about or touch. They're not going to have access to Mailing Boss, to their website. And honestly, that is the very last thing that you want to do. You do not want them having access to their website or any Mailing Boss, any of that stuff, because you're an agency. If they wanted if they wanted to do it themselves, you would have determined that before. You could create, you know, and sometimes clients want partial access, like to the booking calendar or something, and that's when you would sell them an account. Okay. So if they want to do any of that themselves, they need to create their own Builderall account. You cannot create a sub account and then give them access, okay? Because that defeats the purpose. Does that make sense to everyone? Do you have any questions about that? Okay.
Rick, excuse me.
Yeah.
I have 3 questions. Something just popped in my head.
Okay.
From the first slide, you had showed where you can ask your client questions and things like that to find out their mindset. So for someone that's new, is there anywhere that they can find the types of questions, or do they just have to think of questions on their own as they fill out the client?
Yeah, it's really something that you just kind of have to pick up in a conversation. You know, the first thing that I ask them, I always ask every business owner that I talk to, one of the first questions I ask is after they, you know, tell me who they are and all the, you know, they do their own introduction. I always ask them, if you could wake up in 5 years and have everything that you wanted and do exactly what you love, what would that look like? Because a lot of times they have no idea what even the options are. They have no idea. And so the reason that I ask that is if I am talking to a plumber who wants to have the biggest plumber business in the United States of America, Now I know, okay, this guy has huge goals. All right. So he is taking this incredibly serious, and he probably is ready to invest in some ads. Okay. Because these are his huge goals. In 5 years, if he wants to have that, he realizes he's going to make some investments in his business to get to that point. If he says, really, I just, I'm just fine with what I'm doing, it's all good. Now I know that he probably either doesn't have these huge dreams, or he's just happy with where he's at, and that's fine. Like our lawn care business, we don't have big dreams of growing it and being the biggest lawn care business. What we love is the fact my husband can go work 6 hours a day and make great money, and he can come and go as he pleases, and that's fine for us. That's fine. And what we've learned is when you hire people, and it's an additional thing. But it just depends on your goals. I mean, your business, I always say, your business can be whatever you want it to be. But that is your job when you're in the consultation, is you need to find out, where do they want their business to be? What do they envision? What are their goals? And how can I help them get there?
Great. That's those 4 steps right there is great. Number 2 is when a person say like they're new to Build All and they want to be able to send these links, is it in training in your group to show how they can shorten that link or mask that link with a domain name, or do you just recommend they send that large link to a customer, even though it has the affiliate?
I would never send a long affiliate link to a customer or a client. I would never do that. What I actually have I have a domain connected to my affiliate links with Builderall. So my affiliate link my business is visionmarketinganddesign.com. My affiliate link is visionmarketingtools.com. So I'm still keeping the brand, but it has to be different. And the reason that that's so important is because all of the funnels and the funnel showcase and all of that, it's all going to have a subdomain. So it might be realestate.visionmarketingtools.com. But that's a more professional way of saying, hey, this is really mine. I'm not just sending you to some website or some big long link. Plus, if you do find that client on Facebook, then a lot of times you can't share that long affiliate link. It'll block it. So it's just, I always say, the very first domain you should ever buy should be the domain to attach to your affiliate links with Builderall.
Okay, and the other thing I wanted to ask, you were showing in the back office how they can go and create a subdomain. Now, for a person that's new and they're really grasping the training, where in the back office would they go find that step-by-step guide for subdomains and things like what you just showed?
If you actually, and let me type this in, if you go to the knowledge base, let me make sure before I share my screen here. A subdomain, okay, if you change the DNS records, you can go to the knowledge base, by the way, and then just type in subdomain and search, and you'll find training on it. But a subdomain is simply just, like I said, visionmarketingtools.com. I could have a funnel that says realestate.visionmarketingtools.com. Now, aside from the affiliate funnels, if I wanted to attach a subdomain, like say I had training.com and I pointed the records to Builderall, okay, and there's training on that as well in the knowledge base. Then if I wanted to attach any website in Cheetah to a subdomain, all I have to do is then type in what I want it to be. So I could type in free.training.com or xyz.training.com, and then it connects that. So that's how you create a subdomain, but that's also how you connect a subdomain.
Okay, now the last question. I'm asking these questions because when I first started being on the internet, I was like a kid with keys to a car, but not knowing how to drive. So it was a lot of tools in front of me, but I didn't understand how the tools work. Neither did I understand the jargon. So I'm going through a list of what I had years ago when I first started on, and you are excellent in answering these questions, and hopefully it would help those that are new, that are viewing this training. So the other question I have is this information what you just spoke of in your group, and what is the name of your Facebook group? I know they can find it in the Build All back office in the knowledge base, but what would be the name of your Facebook group?
It's just, if you search Builderall, you can see in Facebook, Builderall, you can see all of the groups there. So I am local business marketing, Jean is network marketing, Jackie is physical products, and then you have Keck, who's information products, and then Terry is product launch. So if you just search groups, Builderall, you'll see all the Builderall groups.
And then with the information you just answered to the questions that I asked, those trainings, they can be located in your group?
You can find almost, I think we have basically covered everything. And I hate to say that because things change with the wind. Like we just found out we had the split test inside Cheetah. So it's like, oh, now here's a new thing. So even with the 5 of us and Shelly, it's like we are trying so hard to keep up with things, but I don't know how she did it by herself for so long. I have no idea, because we're all trying to keep up as things progress. So
thank you so much.
Hopefully there is training in one of the groups regarding everything you're looking for.
And they can search the group for that type of training. So yep. Thank you, because as I said, I'm asking from when I first got on. And then it's different people that I spoke to that have been asking these questions. I assure them that they can find the answers and the help and the training in these different groups. So them hearing a Builder All trainer makes them feel comfortable. I got one texting me now that they are happy to hear this. So thank you.
Well, that's good. And I appreciate you asking, because sometimes, you know, when you're doing this every day, you take for granted the things that a brand new person doesn't know. So I appreciate you asking. Anyone else? I don't know who's next. Cindy?
Yeah, the other thing just to remind everybody of is go through the customer journey, like Bridget was showing us last week. If you're going to put out a niche funnel, go to that thank you page, watch every single one of those 7 videos that Shelly did, so you see and understand what they are doing and going through. So when they might call you or have a email you or contact you, you know where they might have come, where their question, where they're stuck at possibly.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the other thing,
go ahead.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say, and even better, and I haven't done this yet because it's more work, recreate the videos yourself. Have your own face there and just say exactly what Shelly said and show exactly what she showed. But when you recreate the videos, you are now, you know, it's all part of that know, like, and trust factor. And even though that's only 2 pages, it's still a sales funnel. You still have talked to them, they've opted in, and now like here's 7 videos where they have the opportunity to get to know you and to trust you and feel like you have the answers to the questions that they have.
And the other thing to add to that is you're going to be giving them a welcome email. You need to customize that and not forget to say, hey, once you go through the first steps, here's maybe the 7th and 8th or 9th step, and maybe do your own little Loom video. If that's what you think the next step for them to be would be domain names, do something as simple as that, or give them that little video that says, hey, here's the group. But if you're searching something in particular, a lot of people don't understand how to search a topic within the group, and teach them how to do that. So that way they're not just going to the group and scrolling endlessly and getting frustrated trying to find a particular video in 58 units that she has there.
Yeah, and that's so true. And again, that's just the more that you help them and the more that you're contacting them and you're providing, I mean, we all talk about value, but what is value? Value is simply something that you need, you know? If they're struggling or they're brand new to Builderall, we all know what it's like. I mean, it's so overwhelming because there's so many possibilities, so many tools. And if you are a business owner and you're like, I can't really afford to outsource this, so I'm going to have to figure it out. You know, you might spend months like digging through training videos, but if someone is there that you can call or you can email and say, hey, I'm really stuck on this, I can't figure this out. Now, again, you are being a valuable resource to them. So I'm telling you, if you get them signed up for Builderall and you just keep in contact with them as their business grows, and it will, because, you know, especially a business who has no website, their business is going to grow. And once they grow their business, they're going to be able to afford to hire you, and you're going to be the one that they go to because you have built that relationship with them. Stacy?
Thank you. So one of the things I wanted you to just speak to, and I couldn't remember off the top of my head, when you were talking about setting up the account as an agency that in fact you're managing and the client themselves are not accessing, but then you said there could be a point where you actually sell them an account. One of the things I know and I wanted you to mention is that the only issue with that is that sometimes there's limited tools. There's so many things that they can't do, because you mentioned the booking app, for example. So I know that there's certain things. Would you mind just saying, if you know off the top of your head, what are the things that can be done with that limited agency, client account? What can be done? What tools?
So inside the, let me share my screen here. Inside the knowledge base, it tells you here, if you just search web, or it was, now I'm on subdomain, but if you just search web agency, you can see what it actually offers in the web agency account, right? Now, anything that you can iframe in, okay, like the booking calendar, or doing a chatbot, you don't have to have access to anything other than just your premium account where you have chatbots, right? You just need to connect their Facebook page, and then you can manage that chatbot. It doesn't have to do anything with their Cheetah website builder or CRM or any of that. So same with Mailing Boss. I mean, you create the sub account and it's in your account, you're managing it. So you just click a button, and I'm gonna walk you through that, but you just click a button to access their account. And then that's where you do everything. And then iframe in from your own account the things that you are hosting on that.
Got it. So and that's what I just wanted to know what the solution was. So what you're saying, the iframe is a solution where you can then charge them more because you're doing these higher level, giving them these higher level features. So now that you mentioned, I had a second question, but now that you mentioned iframe, I've been having a lot of trouble with iframe. And what I did recently is I'm actually about to launch an e-commerce site I just built. And we were having trouble with the iframe checkout. So what we did was we went and we switched it out for that new checkout that they have, because that seems to work better. It's not an iframe, it's super checkout coming right into the page. And even that I'm noticing, as if you go to that page, sometimes it's hung up, it's loading and it's loading and it's loading and it's loading. So I'm just throwing it out there because we have a group here. And if anybody is aware of that or familiar and you have any feedback, even if you want to just tell me in the chat who you are, and I can, if you know something, I would love to know, because that has been a little bit of an issue. So just throwing that out there. Bridget, may I ask you, do you know if sometimes iframing is a problem and it gets hung up and could be an issue?
I've not had a problem, but it's always better to build something directly in than to iframe in. But if you are having that problem, definitely contact support, because it shouldn't be doing that. So if it's something that has to do with, the developers need to look at it and change something, or maybe it's just something with, some way that you're adding it, or I don't know, because, every situation is different, but I would definitely contact support, because it shouldn't be doing that.
Okay. And then the next question had to do with, I heard you saying earlier how those pre-made niche funnels are in fact, of course, branded to Builderall. So that made me think of something that's an issue for me, that's a frustration for me. Even when you use your affiliate link, especially with your domain that you bought, as you talked about earlier, one of the things I noticed is that the favicon, not only the favicon, but more importantly, the image, when you share that link, is the Builderall image when it comes up, when you put that, say you send it, when you share it with someone, that is a concern for me. I don't personally promote any business that I work with other than my own personal branding, no matter who it is. So I don't want to do it with Builderall, and I'm finding that coming up. Now I know, do you say Jean or Jean? how
Gene?
do you say your
It's Gene.
Gene? Now I know I have a video from you where you showed how to do either, you called it the social media share, the link where you actually forward the link and put the image in from the page you're going to. And I've done that. I haven't done it with this because it's not a website to do it with. So I'm just wondering if any of you have solved the problem of your affiliate link being branded to Builderall and the image, the share image coming up for Builderall. Is there a way around that?
What I would do is just download the funnel and customize it how you want. I
No,
wouldn't.
I'm not talking about a funnel. I'm talking, no, I'm talking about any of the, when you use your share, when you do your link, any of your affiliate links for any of the just the links for, say, the dollar offer. When I go to give the dollar offer and I put it in, the image that comes up for share is Builderall.
Have you tried the Facebook debugger tool?
No. Now, Jackie mentioned that to me, but is that only if you're sharing it on Facebook?
Yeah, it is for it. It is. Are you having that problem on other social media as well?
Yeah, and or just yeah, anytime I'm sharing the URL, I'm seeing that occurring. Yes.
Dan, you have a solution?
Well, unfortunately, there is no solution because you got to think about it this way. You're sharing an affiliate link, meaning you're affiliated. So you have no control because you're an affiliate, right? That's why, Bridget said like, oh, you download your funnel. So, but you're not talking about that. You're talking about the affiliate links that we have in the back office, like for the $1 trial funnel that we have, or for the funnel club funnel that we have in there. Since those are affiliate links, that's basically all Builderall. So they have control of the favicon, they have control of the share image. So the only way that you can get around that is the way that I show in that video, where you can actually create a page and then have it redirect to that funnel. Because the first thing that it lands on is your page that you create in Builderall, where you control there in that page the favicon and you control there the share image. That's the only way you could do it.
Okay. I was also thinking I would just do like the same thing you do with network marketing. I was just thinking about making a bridge page, sending them to a bridge page, and then from that page having a link that they click on or a button that then goes to my branded affiliate page with my link. That's what I was thinking about doing.
Yeah, you can do it either way.
Just haven't done it yet.
And that's standard practice. Like most people, if you're doing affiliate marketing, you need to have an opt-in page, you need to have a bridge page, and then send them. And that's also, if you ever plan on running paid ads, you have to do that because, Facebook just won't approve you. So,
Bridget, there's a question for you from Jeff.
Okay.
Can that monthly billing be automated and block if they don't pay?
And block. It depends on whatever invoicing system that you're using. So you can set it up. Like I know Stripe, I love Stripe. That's what I do invoicing through. You can have it. So what I do with the client is, I take them on as a client. We agree on the price. I send them the invoice. If it's just going to be hosting or something monthly or like social media, I don't charge them right away, but I make them store their card. And then I set it up as a subscription in Stripe. And then I bill them every month automatically. Stripe does that. So I don't have to do it. If the payment declines, then you can also set Stripe up to run the card. They call it like smart running or something like that. And it'll run the card like 4 times or whatever in 7 days if that's what you want. But that's just a part of business. I mean, the easiest way to do that, to be able to catch the people whose cards are declining, is to prorate, and just go monthly. And then if you see, if you're running your business and then it's like the first of the month, you want to check and make sure, hey, did all the cards go through, on the 31st, who didn't pay, and then follow up that way. I always tell people, clients, I always say and put in all of my terms to give me 30 days notice if they want to cancel, because I don't like to do contracts. But if you do contracts, of course, they still owe you the money if that's the terms of your contract. So it's really, it depends on however you want to set it up. For me, I just love having that stored payment right away. I won't even take a client if they have not stored their card with me. Even if I don't bill them until 30 days later, they have to have a payment stored with me or I will not do it. Did that answer that question? Okay. Anybody else? Cindy?
Bridget, yeah, just to go back to Stacy and with Jean and talking about on branding and affiliate page, my understanding, and please correct me if I'm wrong, is that we're not allowed to do that. We're not allowed to make it look like we're selling Builderall as ourselves. Isn't that in like the code of ethics?
Well, you wouldn't really be selling Builderall as yourself if you created like an opt-in page and then, you know, you did a bridge page, because the point of the bridge page is, for example, if I was promoting Builderall, I would create the opt-in page, and you can even create a magic funnel. So technically you could just have a blank page with a form, and then they can put in their information, and then they've created a Builderall account automatically without knowing anything about Builderall. And then you send them to a bridge page, and then you can have a video of you saying, oh, you know, my name's Cindy. Oh, you know, Builderall changed my life. Here's how it helped my business, and da 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 da. If you want to check it out, click the link below, and then send them to the offer. So you're not saying, hey, my name's Cindy and I'm the owner of Builderall. You know,
Yeah,
but
okay.
that is a way, because you're not, you know, with you being in the video and you're saying, here's, I love this product and whatever, you're basically introducing whatever affiliate offer that you're offering after the bridge page.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yep, thanks.
But there is a statement, you know, if you even doubt it, there's a statement that you can put on your website to clarify and say, hey, I'm an affiliate of Builderall. You could put that in your terms and all of that, just to clarify. Chip, you have a question?
Yeah, I think the thing that's forbidden is to use Builderall in your domain name.
That too. Yeah. Jean?
I just wanted to go back to the iframe stuff. I forgot to say something. I wanted to remind you guys that you got to look at the iframes as an actual internet browser. So you got to think about that you are having your website, and then you decided to put an iframe, which is a browser, and now you're adding another website on top of that. So you don't know how that website might actually, it might not cooperate too well with its area. So always think about that when you're trying to add an iframe into your website, that you're actually adding a browser on top of a browser, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Are there any best practices though? That's what I was asking. Your point is well taken. So are there any best practices knowing that that's what you're doing?
Not that I can think of, just always test and make sure that it's functional. Blurry.
Okay, guys, I'm gonna share my screen, and we're gonna talk more about sub accounts. I'm gonna show you how to actually create one. So let's go into my screen here. All right. So we talked about what is actually included in a sub account. So let me close this out of here. Let's go to actually my back office here. All right. So to create a sub account, now just to remind you, here's where we are in the point of our consultation. Okay. We've talked to the client. They have decided they want us to create their website. We are going to, you know, we're going to bill them whatever it's going to be. You can do that invoicing. I do recommend invoicing because it may not, you know, if you built it in Super Checkout, which you can do for hosting, but if you're just doing a one-time service, you know, you want to invoice. And like I said, there's tons of options. Aslo is a great bank account. It's online for businesses. It's free too. You can invoice there. You can invoice in PayPal or Stripe or any of those things. Stripe does reoccurring, but it's not available in all countries. So really, whatever invoicing system you want to use, you can use. Okay. So now we have sent them the invoice to create the website for them, but now we need to host it. Okay. So what we're going to do is go to Web Agency. And here is where you have the sub accounts, okay? So we're gonna tell them it's going to be $50 a month, and we're going to set up however the billing that we want to. I'm gonna show you an example of how you can do it in Super Checkout in a second. But when we create the sub account, we just need to click here. And if you read here, it says that it takes 24 hours after registration. So you are going to have to pay for this, okay? But here's how you set this up. This is where a lot of people get confused, and I get a lot of questions about this, okay? To set this up, you want to just copy this link. Now you need to go to an incognito window, because what you're doing right now is creating this account, okay? So in incognito, I'm gonna paste this link because I don't want it to pick up my Builderall account. Now what you can do is, because we do not want to put the client's email in here, because we don't want them getting emails from Builderall, because they're not creating the account, we are creating the account. So if I have a plumber, or if I have, an HVAC guy that I'm going to be hosting this website for, maybe I want to just, with my own domain, visionmarketinganddesign.com, but I want this client to be, John Smith at visionmarketinganddesign.com. So I'm going to create a professional email address for him so that I can create his sub account. Okay, so let's go ahead. I'm just going to name this. I'm going to give him a name because we're creating this sub account now. So I'm going to say John Smith, and I'm going to say John, oops, I cannot type. It's John Smith at visionmarketinganddesign.com. Then I'm going to create a password.
Hey, Bridget, while you're doing that, may I just add that when I do things like this for clients, what I actually do is call it client.johnsmith@mycompanyname.com, just so that we know that's what it is. Everyone on my team will know as well.
Yeah, however you want to organize it, it's totally up to you. If you hear that sound, you just got the lead. So now they're a lead in your back office, right? And then you're just going to click United States, just like a brand new account, because we have created a brand new account. And then, so now this is created, okay? If you minimize this here, you'll see, let me actually refresh my screen. And then now we have John Smith's account, okay? So to pay for this, which you have to pay for this to get access, you just click this, and then now you're gonna go to a checkout where you're going to pay the $5. So Builderall every month is gonna bill you $5. So this is why I always say I love to have at least the stored credit card. Maybe you wanna offer them, free hosting for a month, whatever you wanna do, but this is why I love having the stored card, because I'm already now dealing with this client. As soon as I pay for this, now I'm down $5, okay? So if you do this enough, it's like $5, that's enough that you want to definitely make sure that you're securing payment, because you're also going to be setting all this up. You're going to do a lot of work on the front end. So however you want to do that, this is just what I wanted to make sure to let you know, to always get some kind of stored payment. Maybe you want them to pay up front the whole month. It's whatever, up to you, okay? So you purchase the sub account now for this client. I'm not gonna walk through the process because I don't really need a sub account. And then to access this, all you need to do is click here, and then now this is going to go to John Smith's account, and anything that you do for John Smith, you're going to be creating here. Okay, so you're going to be managing everything, his website, all of that stuff in John Smith's account. But just be forewarned, make sure that you're keeping track of whose account you're in. Don't get it confused with your own. Okay, so does everyone understand the sub accounts? Do you guys have any questions on sub accounts? Tyree?
Yes, I do have one question. When you create an email for that client, do you do it through webhook, or do you create it on Gmail, or where do you create the email for
I
that?
just do it all through Builderall. So in my own premium account, I just create a professional email address that's whatever the client's name is, and then I just use my domain. So
Right. And see, again, when we first built the first company I've ever been a part of, hadn't been a part of many, but it was the first company I was a part of to where you could create an email through our system without having to go through other web hosting systems like BlueGator or GoDaddy, not trying to bring their names up. So a question, like I say, would come up about where do I create it? Do I use Google or anything like that? And I don't even know if a lot of people that use Builderall right now is aware that they can create an email, a professional email in Builderall, even though we have a training on it. That's why I was asking.
yeah, and I could actually just show you real quick here. If you just go to apps and you go to professional emails, you can create, and this is actually still in the sub account, but you can even, so one of the things that I was saying, if, they're your client and you're hosting their website, you could throw it in as a bonus, or you could throw it in as, just an extra charge or whatever to create and host their professional email address. So they don't know that it's so simple, to do. They have no idea, but it doesn't matter, again, because you're doing this for them. So once you have connected their domain, you can host their, maybe you want to create one for them, but if you're creating the sub account, just make sure that you are doing that on your own account. Okay. If you're creating the email address, did that make sense?
What are you charging? Or I'm sorry, what are you charging them pricing wise?
Whatever you want, whatever you decide that you want to charge them. It's just an option. So if you want to charge them, I just say if I'm hosting, I'm just going to add it into my hosting. And you could have packages for hosting. So you could have just basic hosting where it's like $50 a month. And then you could have like basic plus hosting that includes a professional email address. Because if you go to any other service, you're going to have to pay for a professional email address. And every business needs one, but we have it just part of our tools in Builderall. So there's no reason why, you couldn't have a, hosting plus and then throw in that professional email. Cindy, do you have a question?
Just for clarity, the sub account does include a professional. If you connect the domain, you can create a professional email in the sub account.
Right. You can do that for the client, right? Because it's going to be, let's say it's an HVAC guy, and let's say his domain is hvacindianapolis.com. You could create a bob@hvacindianapolis.com on his sub account, and then you can give him access to that. Okay. But if you're just creating the sub account on your premium account for you, then don't add his email, because you want it to really be for your own purposes. So you're just creating that for yourself and for organization and to keep track of it and everything. So it's not for him. You would, if you're giving him access to that email account, then create it on his domain.
Okay. Yeah, and then that prevents him from getting all the Builderall email things too. Okay.
Yeah, because the whole goal, and that's where people get confused with the sub accounts, because the whole goal of the sub account is you're not branding Builderall at that point, right? Because they don't care about Builderall. What they care about is the solution you're providing. So I don't want to say, hey, here's your email and Builder, I don't want to do any of that as a business. Builderall is just a tool that I'm using to host their, email address or their website or whatever.
Cool.
Anybody else have questions? Tyree?
Yeah, I had one other question that came to mind, because I ran across this when I was doing a site for a person. What if that person who you did that site for, that site, what if they wanted emails written? I know that we have an option of going to Fiverr, but could we also use like another tool we have called Script Generator? Would you recommend trying to use that?
Yeah, if you're not great at writing emails, you absolutely could. You could also go with some PLR products. You could use Fiverr to, outsource the email writing. And then you could just, in their sub account, then you could use Mailing Boss and start collecting leads and then set up their autoresponder and do all of that.
Because they do have a Mailing Boss attached to a sub account, because I saw where it said they can have like 2,000 subscribers.
Yep.
But, you know, but again, like when I first started, we didn't have all of these I didn't have this luxury. I had to have other autoresponders. And this is what one autoresponder didn't do. I had to have another one, which means I had a large learning curve and had to have a document that had all the different passwords and things. But we have all of that here in BuildAll, and it just clicked to me that the script generator we have, taking time, thanks to Judy Robin Gunn, she made me become aware a while back that it doesn't take long to use it, to set it up. And what you're doing right now is actually showing how we have in-house everything we need. And what I like is that you were showing that we can create the professional email in BuildAll, but also for a new person, they can create that. And then also, as you said, if they're not good at writing emails, you made it very clear now that they can, again, go to Script Generator and that can write the emails for them. All they have to do is just, you know, clean it up a little bit. So I really am, like I said earlier, enjoying this training. Hey, hey.
Well, thanks. And, you know, since you brought it up, the email marketing, if you create an email campaign, I mean, just 5 or 7 emails, you can charge them $200 for that and then outsource it. Or you could also include that like in a hosting plan and say, here's basic hosting. That's just straight up hosting. Okay. Nothing else. You're just hosting that website on that account. Okay. And you do offer, you know, certain like edits and stuff. I'll show you a web hosting thing that I created in a second in Super Checkout. But, you know, you have certain number of edits you're going to do, but then you can create a hosting plus and you can include, you know, a professional email address or whatever. And then you could create maybe a hosting gold plan where it includes an email sequence and then management of the email list. You know, you could totally, I mean, it's really limitless. And that's what I was saying about just because someone right now at this point, maybe they haven't built that trust with you for whatever reason, they're not willing to hire you to do all of their services. Just getting your foot in the door and doing something that is valuable to them, something that helps them, it's always going to grow. I just last night got a call from a client that I had a consultation with 1.5 years ago, just out of the blue, because he now was ready to hire me to do the services that we discussed. So it's like, you never know, you know, maybe they're not ready at that point, but you're always wanting to just pump them with the value of what you can offer them and then help them build that trust. Because if you're sending them an email a week and you're saying, hey, I just read this great article about, you know, Google reviews, or did you know how important website speed is, or any of that stuff. It's all part of that. So then you're here now, they're ready to invest, and you're going to be the first one they think about. Chip, you have a question?
Just quickly, you briefly mentioned a bank that
Azlo. It's azlo.com. You can create a free business account. They do invoices there as well. If I've learned anything in business, the least amount of places you have all of your information, the better, especially when it comes tax time, just when you're reconciling things and all of that. So I think Azlo, their invoicing system is a little generic, but if you're just getting started, it's a great solution and they don't charge you for anything. So it's
Thanks.
0 fees every month. Anybody else? Okay. So I'm going to show you, Ryan, you have a question?
Just a quick one. I'm mindful, obviously, of the time. You've got lots of training to get through. I'm really enjoying it so far. Just a quick comment on paying for other things. Like Tyree and a few of the others mentioned, you know, it's the stuff we've got in BuildAll is crazy. And I think often we take it for granted. So doing marketing previous to coming to BuildAll, I was paying, I think it was $60 a quarter for Aweber. It was $30 extra per year for a professional domain name with GoDaddy. I had to pay, I haven't paid for this, but I know in ClickFunnels, the script generator with ClickFunnels is $300 a month, plus you get the email side of things. So just wanted to touch on that the stuff we are saving, the money we're saving, and the tools we've got in Builderall are primo. So yeah, my mind was ticking, thinking that, listening to Tyree and a few of the other comments, I'm like, yeah, of course, Aweber, I've been able to drop Aweber, don't have to have that professional email through GoDaddy. Yeah, and set them up for other people too. And I don't think they realize how lucky we are. So thank you. Just wanted to touch on that quickly.
Yeah, and that's a good point. And I liked what Tyree said about the learning curve. That is huge, especially when you're just getting started. And then the how we don't have to worry about the integration. You know, something as like, you know, to me now it's simple, but when I first got started, I was trying to figure out, okay, now I have my domain on Bluehost, but then now I have my emails I want to host on Builderall, but then now I have this client who's using Outlook and I've never used Outlook, and how do I, like, all of those things that you have to worry about, like all of the integration and how to install this code on here, all of those things were a big deal to me, you know. And when you're having, it's like, I just learned how to do a website. Now I have to learn this. Now I have to learn that. Yeah, it gets so overwhelming. And that's what I love about Builderall, because not only is it great for beginners, but when you build your agency and you have, you know, multiple clients that you're managing, you don't have to worry about the learning curve all over again. I mean, yeah, we progress and we add tools you have to learn, but that's the fun stuff, right? So you're building the foundation that is easy enough for a beginner, but it's also powerful enough for a full-blown agency. So you do cut out that learning curve.
Is there a checklist, I guess, that you started with to be able to be like, okay, do this first, then do this? Because granted, I know we have to get started, but for someone being new, it is overwhelming.
It is overwhelming.
It is. It is. So I was just wondering if anyone's put a checklist together.
I don't really know. Maybe
because otherwise I will.
Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
No, I literally am totally on it, because I love Builderall for what it offers, but I'd be lying if I said I wasn't overwhelmed.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, because like I said, it's 40 tools. You know, it's 40 tools. But
yeah.
But what I always tell people when you're brand new, start with Cheetah. Just start learning Cheetah, learn how to do the elements, you know, kind of, Jackie just did an awesome, like, I don't know, it's probably 10 videos at this point, about designing websites. So definitely, I mean, I've been watching it too, and I just learned something about panels that just like rocked my world when I saw a video she did. But definitely check out her videos. Design is the hardest part of web design. It's like we can add elements to a website, but how much is too much? You know, when do you animate things? You know, how do you, that's the hard part. And just knowing all of the options, or maybe you know the options, but how do you use them to the best of its ability? That was, for me, the hardest part, is the whole design aspect. So I would say conquer Cheetah first, because no matter what you end up doing, you have to know how to create a website, and then go to Mailing Boss.
Well, that's where I'm at. I got my, website done. I'm finishing up my email marketing and my blog. I'm probably going to pull an all-nighter because I just want to get it done.
I know. I'm guilty of many of those, because it is fun. I tell my husband, it's like I'm playing a video game, but it makes me money because I'm just in there all day, and I'm like, oh my gosh, we just got this new tool. I'm not getting any sleep tonight. I want to play. I want to get in there and play.
And Ariel, I think you're awesome, hey? I really do think I've watched you and I've seen your stuff. You are really, really awesome.
Thank you. I really appreciate that very much.
Tip, did you have something to say? I saw you waving your hand.
Yeah, I was waving. I didn't know how new she was. And I always recommend people try to copy anybody's website using Cheetah as a starting point,
Yeah, and that's a good tip. And even Google, like I always say, you know, and last time we talked about the customer journey, find a business that is like the same as what you're trying to promote and then just copy it. Just make your own. Or go to website template shops, like even if it's WordPress, and find a design that you like and then just copy it. Just replicate it on Cheetah.
And even better if you can have two screens. So you're staring at it on one screen and you're playing with Cheetah on the other.
Yeah, that's so true. Now that I've upgraded to 2 screens, I'm ready for a 3rd screen.
Ooh, daredevil.
That's just the way
You never have too many screens, I say. I love screens.
So true.
Been doing that for years.
So true. Cindy, you have something to say?
Yeah, I just want to add to what Ariel was saying about having a checklist. I mean, I've gone both directions, and I have found so far, especially when you're dealing with the small Main Street USA kind of mom and pop shops, is don't go in there with, do you need a chatbot? Do you need an app? Do you need, like with the 40 tools? Because it'll just overwhelm them and think that you're going to outprice them by far for their budget. Go in, ask them, what do you see? Kind of like, I know Bridget mentioned it earlier, but go in with the, what do you want? And then say, well, we can do that, you know, and then come up with the plan to get what they want and say, hey, let's start with this. And then, you know, once you see success, this would be the next step so that they know the direction you want to take them to more success, more engagement, and so forth, so that they have that vision, even if they're only on step 1, but they can kind of see a plan for themselves.
Yeah, and that's why last week we talked so much about the customer journey, and that's really important to explain to your clients as well, because a lot of times if they contact you and they're like, they think they need one thing, you know, like a lot of times people say, well, I need Facebook marketing. Well, what's the point of having Facebook marketing when it's on this level of the customer journey, when before they even get to Facebook, you have like 5 negative reviews that we need to talk, you know what I'm saying? So it's also an additional way to like upsell them on something, but also providing the service. There's no point in having, you know, Facebook marketing for organic traffic if when they go to search for you, it's really bad things that they're finding. So, yeah, I mean, I could talk all day about upsells and everything, but the whole goal is you definitely want to be able to find out what they need and then provide that for them and let them know what they need, because that's what they're hiring you for. Jeff, you have a question?
I do. What if what you're looking to do, and I've done this in another program or system, is just create a capture funnel for a given niche, whatever it might be, mobile mechanics or a carpenter or a landscaper. That's it. They don't want a website. They don't want any of that. They want something really simple to use to capture leads, so that when they advertise on Craigslist, their business, whatever it is, instead of the boring stuff that's on Craigslist, they have a link there, and it takes that prospect to a capture page. How would you approach that here with Builderall, and then sell that to them, and then what would they be in terms of a subscriber in order to have that? What do you see? How would that be done?
Well, no matter if you're creating a simple like lead capture page or a full-blown website, it has to be hosted on something. So you could, I mean, and then you could follow the same process as we're doing. But I would also, if they come to me and say, I need a lead capture page, I want to ask them why. Why do you think that's what you need? And if they're saying, well, I just need to capture leads, well, what are you doing now to capture leads? You know, I want to know the process that they're doing that's not working for them that makes them think that they need that. And then once they capture the leads, how are they following up with them? Do they have emails already written? Do they have their own autoresponder? Do I need to provide that for them? So these are all things that I would want to know if they tell me something like I need a lead. Because again, it just goes back to a lot of times when they say they need something, they really don't know what they need. And so for me to get the whole picture of what they are currently doing and where they want to go, I need to tell them exactly what they need to do to get there and how I can help them do that.
So in the past, what I was doing is promoting to a given niche. For example, mobile mechanics who advertise. There's a lot of them on Craigslist all over. I would approach them and say, you know, I have a better way for you to promote your business and to get people to actually click on yours versus going through a whole list of everybody who's a mobile mechanic that's advertising on Craigslist, and they have, you know, they do 40 different things for your car, and call me, or here's my email address, send me an email. Instead, to provide for them a capture page and include some autoresponders with that, and a thank you page as a package. And I would sell that package to them, and then they would become a subscriber to that particular system, and I would get my residuals from that, in addition to the upfront fee that I would charge them. And it's a boilerplate. I just promote it across the board, all over to mobile mechanic who are on Craigslist in every state in the country. And so because they really don't know how good it could be or how much better it could be. And so I'm sharing with them, you could have a lot more success. You could do this, and that you can have this, and I'll build it for you. It'll be customized for you, your business name, your logo, whatever, will be right on there. And it's X fee, and then it's $50 a month or whatever the number is. So how would I position them? Would I do that via like a sub account and set it up that way? Would that be recommended? Do it like that?
Do they want to be hands-on or hands-off?
Hands-off.
Then I would create the sub account, and then I would just bill them monthly for hosting. So that it would cost you. But if you don't, if you don't have, you have 15 domains on your premium account. Yep. So you don't have to buy a sub account until you need it, which I love that too, because when you're brand new and you're trying to build your business in Builderall, you don't have the extra. I mean, it's just $5, but why spend the $5 if you don't need to? So you could just host it on your own account. And then once you outgrow that, then you could create sub accounts. And maybe you have 15 clients, and then now you need more room for yourself. Then you can still create the sub account at that point, and then just transfer the website to the sub account.
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay.
that's what I love. It's so great for people just getting started, but yet it's powerful enough for you to grow your business without having to change platforms and transfer a bunch of stuff. I mean, the transferring is simply putting in the email address and then hitting transfer. So very simple. Any other questions? Okay. So the last thing I'm going to show you tonight is I actually set up, I'm going to show you one of the agency funnels, and I actually set up the hosting plan through Super Checkout. So I just want to run through this with you so that you guys can get some ideas. There's lots of training. I know Jackie has some awesome training on Super Checkout and all of that. But so I'm not going to do like a full-blown Super Checkout training, but I want to show you how easy this is to set this up as reoccurring billing in the Super Checkout, and be able to just automate this. So you don't have to, you can do the consultation, you can send them this link, and then they can set all of this up. You never have to get their credit card number, which is so important to me because I don't want to be liable for their credit card information. I want them to enter it. I don't want them to give it to me. I don't want to have it on a piece of paper around my office. I don't want it on my computer. I don't want anything to do with that credit card number. I just want them to enter it themselves. And I think that's also kind of a customer service, because I want them to feel comfortable too, especially if they're just hiring me. They don't know if I'm trustworthy. So that's what I prefer to do. So I just want to show you guys how easy this is to set this up. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Okay. So I've downloaded the this agency funnel. Actually, let me go to it because that was, okay. So here's the agency funnel, and this is the home page, but there's also a checkout basic plan page and then a thank you page. So anytime you set something up in the super checkout or e-commerce or whatever you're building this on, you need to have at least 2 pages. So a page you're going to sell it on and a page you're going to deliver it on. Okay. So if you look at our basic checkout page, this is what this looks like. So I've set this up in super checkout. So if I'm saying, oh, actually that's the, let me see here. So I'm saying, okay, you chose the basic plan, you know, go ahead and enter your credit card information or whatever. So they're going to click here. They're going to go to the super checkout. Here, I'm going to show them, you know, here are the terms of my website hosting. So I'm going to include with this $49, I'm going to include hosting and maintenance of a landing page, which includes 1 text change to existing content per month and 1 existing image change per month. Manage hosting, also included in daily backups and built-in reporting. This is just a standard template that I created for my own business. So the daily backups and reporting, Builderall does for us. Okay. We also have reports. You can screenshot the website overview, which is simply just right here. If you wanted to screenshot that to them and send it to them to make it more official, you could do that too. Let me go back here. So once they, you know, they see all of the terms, and I always want to put here very clear, this is a reoccurring charge. Please give us 30 days notice before canceling. They click continue. They can just go through the whole checkout process. Okay, so they are doing this themselves. I'm never getting their credit card information. But on the back end, you want to go to super checkout. And you'll have to enter your business information here, and you'll have to do that for every single website, which is awesome because if you are hosting a website for a client or another business, every single website you can adjust that. If you wanted to add, you know, your own business for every single business that you're doing, of course, you just have to enter it again. So I already put this in here just as an example. So then to create your product, let me actually go to my products here. So I just created a product called web hosting. So I'm going to go click edit. So I'm going to add my image. I'm just going to call it web hosting. I'm going to choose the language. I don't really need their address because I'm not sending them anything. But if you did want to, you could just select that there. I'm just going to put in the terms of my web hosting. It's a digital product. It's the category services. So we're going to click next. And here's where you're going to choose the payment system that you want to use. So if you click here, you see you have PayPal, Stripe, and all of these other ones. Totally up to you, depending on whatever country you're in or whatever you prefer. It's super simple to set up. You just follow these directions and walk through the steps. It's super simple. I like Stripe, so I already have this in here, so I'm just going to select that there. You're going to select the currency. Since I'm in the United States, I'm going to choose United States dollar. You can choose refunds or no refunds. We'll just say no refunds. But here's the part that you need to choose for reoccurring payment. So if you're doing a one-time payment, which you could do for, you know, if you're building a website and you have a standard price, you could do a single payment. But like I said, really for, you know, if you're doing a website or something, you probably want to do invoicing. But for something that is going to be a standard price, like your hosting fees or whatever, reoccurring and then doing in the super checkout is an awesome way to do that. Especially if you're using Stripe as your payment gateway, and then you're also using Stripe for your invoicing. Now, like I was saying, it's always better to have everything in one spot. So your hosting transactions are going to be in Stripe. Your invoices are going to be in Stripe. So all of their credit card information, all of that stuff is going to be in your Stripe account. So that's what I prefer, totally up to you. No additional taxes. If you wanted to create a coupon, so maybe you wanted to say, you know, your lead magnet, you're running paid ads and you want to say half price hosting or 1 month free hosting, you could create a coupon and then add that in there. I won't go too deep into that because like I said, there's so much training on this. If you want to create a subscription plan, which is what we want to do because this is reoccurring, you want to set that up here. So we're just going to call this web hosting. We're going to choose the price, just going to put some information here. Like I said, this is a reoccurring charge. Please give us 30 days notice before canceling. And then you can also select an option here. So how frequent do you want these payments to be? So you can choose whatever you want it to be and then how often. So I'm just going to say once a month. Now here's the part that's really important, okay? You have the option to make this infinite payments until they cancel, or if you're doing contracts, which, you know, a lot of people love doing contracts, you can choose 12 payments and then it'll stop there, or you can just choose, like I like to do, just tell me that you're going to cancel, just give me 30 days notice, okay? And then of course you want to enable that and then click OK. So we'll just go next. And then we can actually create an affiliate program for this. So if you want to promote your web hosting and you want to have affiliates promoting it, maybe you build a team in Builderall, but you know, maybe somebody's brand new and they just want to outsource, you know, their hosting and all that stuff to you and just bring you clients. You can actually set this up to pay them commission for bringing you web hosting clients. So we'll click next. You can edit you can first choose what type of checkout that you want to use. I like to use the 3-step checkout. You can edit that here. A lot of people don't know that you can actually edit the fonts and the fields and colors and all of that branded to you. This was actually green. I changed it to blue because I like blue. And here's where you want to choose the page. So you need to choose a page that you're going to send them to after they've purchased. And then you need to choose a page that you're going to sell it on. Okay. So in this purpose, I'm sending them to the thank you purchase page. And then we're selling this on, meaning like where you're going to put the button, where they're going to click to go to their checkout page. So I'm just going to choose checkout basic plan. I'm going to click next. And then you can use the website, or I'm sorry, website. This is basically for Mailing Boss. So if you want to use the same fields in Mailing Boss or sync them to a new list that you created, you can do that here. You can also choose a default thank you message. And I like to choose the abandoned cart. So if they go to hosting and then maybe they're at work or they're busy and then they don't actually pay for it, an hour later or however long later, we can have this set up to send them an email and say, hey, did you realize you didn't finish checking out? You could also customize any of these by unchecking or checking those boxes. So we'll click next. And since we're not going to put this on a membership page or anything, we'll just go ahead and click next because it doesn't really need to be secured. We don't need to worry about external scripts or webhooks or e-learning, so we'll click next. And then once you accept all the terms and conditions, you just click accept the terms and update product because essentially I had already created it. And so that's how easy that is to set up your web hosting in Super Checkout. And then, like I said, you just add that, you know, set the action to a button to go to that product.
Yeah, I see that Ariel has her virtual hand up. I don't know if she did that by mistake or if she wanted to ask a question.
I did have a question. Thank you. Something I thought of. So if I have a product of my own, would I go to Super Checkout to be able to create that digital product, or where or would I go to e-learning? Like what
type of product is it?
I created a sales course and I created a branding course to be able to help new marketers and people online that don't have a background in sales and marketing.
So have you added that course to an e-learning? Because definitely you should put that in an e-learning.
Okay, that's where then I'm going to put it in there, because what I'm doing is I'm transitioning. I created a 30-day mental health challenge that I have in Thinkific. I'm going to put that into e-learning, and I also want to put my sales course and my branding course in there as well. So
you should definitely join Keck's group because he's all about information products. He has some great training in there for that. Jackie is great with e-commerce.
They're amazing. I'm so grateful for you guys. No, seriously, I'm on the trainings all the time.
Yeah, it's, I mean, yeah, you could totally set that up. You could create your own, you know, do the super checkout and all of that stuff. I mean, if you, e-commerce would be more for if you had like many products, but if they're just going to purchase like one-off items, then yeah, super checkout's great for that.
Perfect. Thank you.
You're welcome. Tyree?
Yes, you were showing you got me excited over here. You were showing super checkout, and I remember we did a step-by-step training. And just so that I know that people may be watching this on YouTube or watching it in the future, to let them know they don't have to become overwhelmed with what you're showing. You're showing them what we can do, but also you did mention we have training, and with super checkout, I believe, I know it's in Jackie's group, but I think Shelly also did a Tuesday night training, but I don't know if you had done a step-by-step on how to set up super checkout.
I have. In my local business marketing course, I have done a training on super checkout. You can get that in the back office under training in the menu. Also in my group, I have a unit that I do. I have done some super checkout, but also this week, I'm going deeper into that because we're creating a template shop. So we're using super checkout, the e-commerce, and then I'm, you know, showing you how to actually sell, you know, create your shop, and then create thank you pages to send them to, like I showed you in the niche funnels, and customizing that page and everything. And so I'm literally step by step how to create your own template shop.
That's great, because for what would be information overload for everyone else is information excitement for me. But I remember when I first started, information overload was like, wow, this is a lot. But I really like the fact that you're showing what we can do overall, like an overview, and then you're saying step by step where it can be found. So again, anyone that may be watching this now or maybe watching it in the future, I just wanted to be made known to them, because personally, for me, Build All is a new way of life. And I would like for everyone to experience what I experienced, but I don't want them to get overwhelmed and then say, I can't do. You're showing that it can be done. And you're also saying, well, step by step, they can learn how to do it. So thank you.
Yeah, because it's a longer process. I could sit down here and we could be here for 5 hours and I can walk you through every single step. But, you know, that's where the daily training comes in, because I don't want to give you 5 hours of things that you're like, oh my gosh, I don't even remember step one. You know, but getting an overview and realizing, getting your brain moving and thinking, oh, and I could use that like this, and I could use that like this, and I could totally set this up like this. That's what's great about this training. But the day-to-day, getting in the nuts and bolts and the click here and click here, and that's where the groups really, that's where the value is in the groups. That's stuff. You're so funny, Tyree. Chip, did you have a question?
Yeah, I just want to comment that in the knowledge base, super checkout is different from super checkout. So depending on whether you do it as one word or 2 words, you get different results.
Really? I'm going to look at that right now. That's interesting. So yeah, different results, huh?
And one of them, only a couple of trainings come up, and one of the others, a lot of them come up. I don't remember which is which.
You know, when they enter these things into the knowledge base, they have to like choose different keywords. Like, so when people are searching for this is what we want this to come up. Yeah, and I do see. So I'm guessing that it was either the mood of the person for the day who did this, probably on different days, or maybe different people were just, you know, adding things to the knowledge base and then separating those words. But I'm going to leave a note for Shelly and let her know that maybe we need to choose both together and separate to find the right information. Okay. Okay. Anybody else have questions?
I have a quick question. Yes. Bridget, do you have a PDF file that we could have on the super checkout and the agency, the example that you showed us when you were doing the hosting and all? Do you have by any chance a PDF file on that?
Look, Frankie, because I just adore you, I am actually going to give you a I'm going to give you the actual template that I made. Let me look in here. Oh, here it is.
Drop it in the chat. Make it a file for all
Yeah, I
of
will.
us.
I will. Let me show you what I'm going to give you here. Okay, so I'm going to give you this. Let me go ahead and copy this. So if you guys don't know, if you want to share a website that you've created, you just click the 3 dots here and you go to Manage Public Link, and then you can copy. But here is what I'll share with you, because I think this is what you're looking for. So I just created this simple page here, and I say, you know, just $47 monthly, and then I include all the terms that we discussed, and then here's the button where they would click to purchase the web hosting. So I will go ahead and add that to the chat, so you guys.
Thank you so much.
You are so welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're so welcome. Anybody else have questions? John?
Hey, how you doing, everybody? Can you hear me?
Yep, we can hear you.
Man, I tell you, I'm just going bananas over here. I mean, I'm going crazy coming from another platform or a whole bunch of other platforms and been in the game for a minute. I'm just blowing up, and like, I mean, I got computers all over the place and I'm just blowing up on everything. But my question is this: do you think it's a wise idea, since I'm going to be doing both my own digital products, selling or in affiliate marketing, and also do, right now I build a lot of websites for a lot of people, but I do on other platforms. At what point do you think it would be a good idea for me to brand myself as a LLC, and put everything under the umbrella of, you know, John Major Online? Or do you think I should keep it generic based on if I'm going to be doing like other projects?
Well, when you talk about LLC, that's simply, you know, that's basically up to you. It depends on your state. It depends on, you know, how you want your taxes to be done. And so the LLC part would be different. So you could basically, if you wanted to create a business called Marketing John Major, okay? Mm-hmm. If that's what you wanted your business to be called, then you could you actually choose when you're registering your business, mm-hmm. you choose like what type of business it is. Mm-hmm. And so you could just say marketing. And so anything within that same structure or category would be relative to that business. But for example, I have a lawn care business and then I have my marketing agency. So those are 2 different businesses. They're 2 mm-hmm. different LLCs. So when I go to do my taxes, we have to do them separately because they're 2 different business entities. And even when I do marketing for the lawn care business, it needs to go into the lawn care business.
Okay.
So that I'm certainly not an accountant. That's what I pay an accountant for, you know, but branding yourself and all of that stuff, yesterday. You should start doing that yesterday, if that's what you want to do. I mean, lots of people are very successful at affiliate marketing without having a huge audience. They're just really great at paid ads. So it all depends on whatever you want, the same thing that I ask local business clients, where do you want to be in 5 years?
Right.
You want to have a huge following on YouTube, or do you just want to have, you know, passive income by running paid ads? I mean, it's totally up to you. Whatever you want your business to be. That's a great thing about Builderall. Also the great thing about why people get so overwhelmed. There's so many opportunities, and it's like, you know, Tyree, he's great about animating all of the things that go on in his mind, because we're all the same way. It's like, oh my gosh, there's not enough time in the day. I want to do this and I want to do that and I want to do this. And it's like, oh my gosh, where do I start? And even now, being with Builderall as long as I've been, I still have those moments where I'm like, well, I need to do this, but we just came out with this new tool. I'm not getting you know,
and see, and see, that's my issue, because like I say right now, I built a bunch of websites for other people and other platforms. And to be honest with you, I mean, I thought I had the cream of the crop. I'm going to be honest with you. But all of a sudden, I happen to come to Builderall and I'm ready to blow up. I'm like, oh my gosh, being a gadget person, I mean, it's just like a kid in the candy store. And everybody I tell about, they say, well, what have you built in there yet? I say, well, oh my gosh, where do I start? Well, there's a cheetah builder, there's this, there's Miller, there's this. Oh my gosh, where do I start? And they're like, okay, well, I mean, I have like 10 guys looking at it, and now they're getting excited about it. They're like, oh my God, where did this come from? You know, I say, well, this is not the same Bill Raw that was 3 years ago. Definitely not. You need to check it out. This is where it's at. And plus all the training is just, I mean, it's mind boggling. You know, every time I turn on the computer, I mean, I got 3 screens around me, and it's like Bill Raw, and I'm trying to watch all of these at one time. It's like, oh my gosh, this is amazing.
I like to call it Builderall syndrome, because you're just like, oh my gosh, I'm obsessed with Builderall. I'm addicted. I can't step away from my computer. It's like, I know that I've been sitting here 16 hours, but I'm right in the middle of building this e-commerce store. I can't stop now. I've got a groove. I'm like, I've got the flow going. And yeah, it's awesome. I love it. It's like I said, it's like a video game that I get paid for to play.
Thank you.
Anybody else?
Yeah, I wanted to say something. I've heard quite a few times on some of these trainings where different times of questions come up about how to set up LLCs or what should we be doing. I'm going to, if anyone message me after, because I don't want to mention on here, because the information that you're sharing, we should stay focused on that. I'm loving this. I can give them information to a summit that I'm going to be on next week that help us understand how to answer all the questions about LLC and stuff like that and how to structure that. I don't want to take away from what you're doing now, because this is like, do you know how much people have paid in the past to learn what you're teaching? Really, seriously. And it ain't a cup of coffee at these coffee shops. No, they pay they pay house notes to learn what they're learning here. So I really like to keep the focus on what you're doing, because I am going to be up all night having a one-man Builderall parade.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's what you said, though. It's so right that structure, you know, part of being a web agency, or even, you know, understanding what your clients are going through as a local business owner. Like, I have 2 local businesses. Just because my one business is online doesn't mean that it's not the same as my lawn care business. So it's like, I still have to manage my expenses. I still have to, you know, do my taxes. There's lots of things that go into a business, whether it's online or you have a brick and mortar business. And that's why I love working with local business clients, because I respect and love the hustle so much that if I can use what I know to help them be successful, knowing, you know, when you start a business, it's like, oh my gosh, it's so stressful. You're taking a risk you don't even know. When I quit my job to say I'm starting an online business, people thought I was insane. And I kind of felt insane, to be honest. I kind of did feel crazy. But it was the best decision I ever made in my life. But that does not take away from working, you know, 16, 20 hours a day, the financial stress of, you know, replacing my income completely in a stable way that I didn't, you know, when you go from a steady paycheck every 2 weeks to, okay, now I need to get another client next month because, you know, this client, you know, canceled for whatever reason. It's like, those things are stressful. And when you have a brick and mortar business, these clients have invested, you know, hundreds of thousands of dollars most of the time. So when you know, the stress on their faces, it's like you just want to help them. That's why I love working with local business clients. It's so rewarding. I love it. Anybody else have questions?
Yes, Bridget, if I can just chime in. Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So thank you so much for all your trainings. Really awesome. And I want to thank everybody for joining in today. So when it comes to digital marketing, you know, my experience is that you can do it all by yourself, right? There's a great tool within Builderall, which is a VA, and people should use it more, you know, especially when you deal with, from my experiences, you know, I deal with, you know, local chamber of commerces, and you may have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 clients at a time. You can do it all. So finding a good team to work with and add them as VA, whether it's picking them up from Fiverr. I don't use Fiverr, I usually use local students and train them on how to use the platform a little bit, and then outsource some of the work to them. So taking advantage of the VA tool and giving them access to what they need, like the website building, the booking app, and teaching, young folks that are looking for a job and having them work for you is a great opportunity. And I think that I find it, Builderall has given me that opportunity to work with maybe 3 or 4 students and really kind of, have them help me with the local businesses. So I think that's something I wanted to kind of put it out there. There's some tools like the VA, which people should take advantage of.
Yeah, and I don't think a lot of enough people talk about the VA tool, and it's so simple, and it's a great way to give people access to your account without giving them access to everything in your account. So, again, search the knowledge base for VA, and it's super simple. You just enter the name of whoever you want to, you could say Billy Bob or something, and then save, and then you can give them that access code, and then go to office.builderall.com and then log in as a VA with that access code now, and you can select, what you want, which tools you want them to have access to. So we definitely talked about last week about using, people on Fiverr or Freelancer or whatever to hire, to outsource some of these things. So all of those freelancer websites are great. And if you guys are freelancers and maybe you're just getting started, going to Fiverr, or just check out last week's video, I talked more about that. But that's a great place to get started and start building your reviews. Like Cindy said last week, going to the Builderall groups, that's great. And it's so awesome to kind of give back to the community and give people a chance to, hire them. But as a business owner, you also have to think, I don't really know this person. I don't know their quality of work. Like, what are their reviews? Are they easy to work with? Do they typically deliver whatever service I've gotten from them on time? These are all things as a business owner, just like when the clients are hiring you, they want to know these things. Because I always go back to my very first client, I outsourced the website and it took twice as long to get. And so my client, who was referring me to all these people, he's like, where's my website? He didn't care that I had outsourced it. He's looking at me like, hey, I hired you for a website. Where's my website? So, that looks horrible for my business. And what am I supposed to say? I didn't build it. It's not really my fault, but it is my fault because I hired this person to do the website. So, that's why I say, if you're just starting out and you want to do freelance work, definitely go to Fiverr or Upwork or freelancer.com and start building up that reputation so that people can go to you. And I'm actually a Fiverr affiliate. So on my website, I offer Builderall Fiverr gigs, like, Builderall web designers. I can put all of that on my website so that people can go there and outsource, vetted people that have great reviews that I have worked with. And then I still get commission. I'm not even doing anything. I just put their, gig on my website. And if they hire them, I earn commission. So lots of opportunities, even if you have no experience whatsoever. Anybody else have questions?
Hey, Bridget, I just want to let everybody know, I posted it in the chat. I did a training as well in my group about VAs. So if anybody wants to take a look at that, I posted that there.
Yeah, awesome.
Bridget, I did want to just share something. Since a lot of people are giving testimonials and sharing information, I just want to say this. I am a systems expert. That is a systems maestro, as I like to say. That is my area of expertise. And, it's funny. I started with Builderall in 2017, and then I pulled back, and I came back this year. And it's just finally clicking, even for me, how powerful it really is. I mean, we know there were some glitches years ago, and now it's way better. And the interesting thing that clicked for me, so I am an Infusionsoft expert. I don't have any clients I do that with now, but I've done that over the years, and a lot of other tools. The interesting thing is, when I look at the funnel builder, the Cheetah funnel builder, I was looking at that, but then I'm also looking at the The workflow, when we do the workflow and we set up the sequences. So Infusionsoft, for example, has that, right? It has this sequences or something like that, its own version of that for email marketing. But they don't even do websites. They did their own version of landing pages and they didn't even call it that back in the day. But the point I want to make is that costs $297 a month at the main one that people use. It used to cost $297 a month. And basically it was just for email marketing. And when you look at everything that we have, I mean, and I know I'm just saying the same thing everyone else says, but I just want to say that I'm saying it from a place of someone who knows. I've been dealing with technology since I was 13, and that's over 40 years ago. So believe, I got my first computer at 13. I've been in this game forever, you know, from teaching people email, how to do email, how to build websites, how to do everything, build computers, network computers, all of that I've done over the years. And it's just clicking for me what a powerful, powerful tool this really is. So much so, like everyone says, it becomes overwhelming and you don't even see it because you're focusing on one thing and you don't even see. And the funniest part is what I always forget to say when I start listing how powerful this is and what tools. For example, one of the things that I forget, and you mentioned tonight, is the affiliation program. Just the ability to set that up alone, it expands your opportunity to share whatever it is you're doing. So, you know, I don't even have to keep saying it because we all know, but I just wanted to share. It's a hugely powerful tool. It's just clicking for me, and I know systems. So there's a lot there, and I agree with everyone. Focus on one item at a time, learn it, and then move on to the next one, which I'm doing now. I'm now getting into MailingBoss in a way I never did. And like I said, I'm seeing, wow, it has similarities, or at least the abilities that Infusionsoft has or had at the time, and then so much more. So yeah, great tool. Thanks guys, it was a good night. Now it's time to blink at what's going on with the presidential race and then go to sleep. I just turned it on.
I'm very passionate about politics. And so I'm like, oh my gosh, it's Tuesday. I'm doing training. This is like, I'm missing my Super Bowl.
That's what I just realized. So have a great night, everybody.
All right. If you guys don't have any more questions, we'll go ahead and call it a night and no questions.
Bridget, one thing to go back to the very beginning, I'm sorry, but when you said when you started with the DIY, your do-it-yourself client, and what plan are they getting set up on? Are they getting set up on the free plan or the $69 plan? Because I can't imagine a do-it-yourselfer is going to start with a $69 plan just to do a website.
There is actually what's called a secret plan.
Okay, so you're using that funnel. Okay, all right, I got it.
Yeah, you could. But honestly, I would try to sell them on the $69.90. I mean, I know that sounds like, oh, it's a business, but if they're a business owner and if you do a great job about showing them the value and then say, look, it's going to be $69.90 a month, but how about I go ahead and I'm just going to connect your domain for you. I mean, like, look, it could, you know, create a professional domain. If you did that and you help them get set up, that's going to be incredibly powerful for them. And then once it's set up, as long as they're collecting leads, they're going to stay there. I mean, why would they leave? Because they already have this, you know, website in place. They already have their domain connected. They have their professional email address. They already have an email sequence going out. You could even upsell them on that if you wanted to. So really, at the end of the day, the $69.90 is not a lot of money. If you look at Aweber, that's like $40 a month anyway. So that's what I would say. I would sell them on the premium plan and then just pack full of value, especially on the front end, to make it absolutely irresistible for them to ever even consider canceling. Like, I would want to show the value. Like, I want to talk to them about booking calendars and all of the, you know, I want to look at their specific need and say, look, this can solve your problem. This can, I mean, just the booking calendar alone could save them an entire employee. So that's definitely, I would sell them on that premium plan for sure.
I just had a quick question.
Value.
Tomorrow.
How would I sell it?
I said, I'm going to go sell it tomorrow.
I bet you will.
There you have it. There's no more questions. 69 or nothing. That's it.
Yes.
For
Go
me
to-
personally, guys, I'm not selling the other plans. I am only selling the premium plan. Why? Because I want a quality customer. I want somebody that's invested in themselves, in their business. They're serious, they're motivated, they're go-getters. And therefore, you're going to attract that as well. Anyway.
And if you
Hey, coach, let's go.
Right? Let's do it.
Yeah, and don't sell it like, well, it's $69.90. Is that too much for you? Say, and it's only $69.90. Like, look, you're going to get this. I mean, if you bought this on its own, it'd be this amount of dollars. This would be this amount of dollars. I mean, literally, you could create a packet or a presentation to say, here's all the tools. And really, when I did like high-end clients, I did create that presentation and say, here's what you need. Not like a generic thing, but like, here's my proposal to you. This is what you need, and here's what it would cost if you bought all of these things separately, but here's what this is going to cost. So you're going to save X amount of dollars and an employee, or, you know, whatever. But show them. That is the same with any sales, anything, is show the value and then be confident, because we're giving them an incredible value for all the things that we are offering. That is an incredible value. So don't be shy about it. $69.90 is nothing. Go to ClickFunnels and pay $97 and get a funnel builder.
So it's a high value, and I don't question that at all. I was curious. Now, when you look at Builderall.com, it only comes up with the $69 program. I must have missed something in I was away for a few weeks from this stuff, so I must have missed something here. None of the other plans show up. None of the other offers are there. What's going on with that?
We actually, since the launch, we only have now the free plan and the $69.90 plan. There is what's called, I'm sorry?
But the free plan isn't even listed. The secret, what's with the secret plan?
There, if you're a premium member, you will have a checkout. It's not being promoted, because what we really want is free plan, what they're calling the super free plan, and then the premium plan. So we're really focusing on the premium plan. You know, the free plan, as a company, it converts 8% of the time. The $1 converts 14% of the time. So that there's a lot to be said with, you know, it's like Ariel was saying, you want serious clients. Free people don't appreciate free. You know,
I didn't like the free plan. I regretted that they even offered it.
Right.
Thought, man, why do they have to mess things up and muddy the waters with this? And forget that. But is there something else besides the premium plan that's there? And I'm not aware of it.
There is a $29.90 plan that you can access inside your premium funnels, but they're calling it a secret plan because it's not listed on the main website.
Okay.
It's only for people who, like you were saying, maybe somebody just needs a website and maybe they just want, you know, a couple additional tools. They're a DIY person and don't want to pay. But honestly, it just goes back to that. There's so much value in the $69.90 plan. I don't even talk about the other plans.
Right. Okay. Now I understand better. Okay. Thanks.
Bridget, I have a question before we go that just popped up. You were mentioning about setting up domain name, you know, having a domain name and things like that. And I do know that we have a feature in BuildAll where a person can purchase a domain name through BuildAll. So that would also eliminate them having to go through other domain services. So would you recommend purchasing that domain for the customers through BuildAll to make it easier for you to have everything in-house? Because I know if they did have it, they would still be able to create a subdomain anyway. So again, would you recommend them just keeping everything in-house with BuildAll?
Yeah, if you have a brand new client, you know, why not? Why not just make it easy for yourself? Because then you don't have to worry about changing the name servers and then transferring, you know, connecting the domain and then waiting for propagation and all that stuff. Why wouldn't you do that? But a lot of times they've already purchased their domain. And so then you have to change the name servers. And so it's whatever, again, it's whatever you want to do, whatever your client needs, that's the cool thing, is we have the ability to adapt to that. So if you're not, you know, if your client needs that, you can't say, oh, I can't do that. Because we can do that. It's, yeah, I would definitely say keep everything in-house, because even if it's a Bluehost or GoDaddy, you still have to pay for that.
Right.
It's like, why add?
Because that was one of the things that I've had to tackle when I first got in, because even when I did get in and had my domain name through GoDaddy, I had to go through that system and forward and mask and all of that. And it was very challenging for a new person that wasn't a techie. Now I've developed into a techie, but for new people that's just starting out, again, to eliminate the overwhelmization, they could actually purchase everything through BuildAll and not have to go through the transitioning of learning learning how to point, because I was like, point, what is point? And then when I would call GoDaddy, if I didn't use the correct terminology, I would mess them up.
Mm-hmm.
So to be able to, and I'm really loving that these points are coming out, because there's a lot of people that are learning the value of living life through the internet now. And this would really help them calm down the urgency of being able to create a new life and to be able to have everything. I don't know of any other company that will allow you to buy a domain name through the company, and you would still have the same type of control to do what you need to do. So I do thank you for this. Thank you.
You're welcome. Judy? Your arm is getting tired.
Okay, I wasn't sure you could see it. I just wanted to say, I live in Australia, the same as Ryan, and I've had my own businesses in the past, and I used to sell websites back in the day when they were really early to people. And when you approach a business, especially a small business, they work very hard, they work really long hours, and they really have to watch their money. And if you approach them and say, oh, you need this and this will be great and everything, and you know, you can just get it for $1, or you can have it free for a month. Do you know what they get? I don't know about over there, but here they're going to go, yeah, real. You know, if it's dinky dye, then I pay for it. Well, then it's $69.90. Oh, well, okay, then tell me what I get. You know, I would never approach someone and say you can have a free plan for a month, or it can be $1 to get you started, because they just laugh at you. You got to pay for what, if you're in a business, you got to pay for what you want.
Right.
And if you don't pay for it, then the mindset here is that it can't be really that good.
Yeah, it's the value proposition. You know, if I tell you, oh, this is $20 a month, you're like,
yeah.
How do you get all that? It must be junk if it's 20.
Right, yeah.
Honestly, when I first came to BuildAll, the premium plan was $49.
Yeah, I got mine in at $49.
Yeah, I was like, that's pretty cheap. Like, what's the catch?
Yeah,
exactly. I thought that too. I absolutely did.
Right. Yeah, I love BuildAll, and I'm getting better and better every day.
You know what? Me too. I learn something new every single day. That's why
I've had people, sorry to interrupt, I've had people here say to me, Judy, at your age, what on earth are you doing? I say, I'm creating my future. But you've had a life. And I go, but it's not over yet. Give me a break. You know, people don't understand. Well, people, I think they sort of understand that we're in a new world. And, you know, I'm a baby boomer. I'm going to be 72 soon. And I'm thinking, is this all my life is? I've got so much more to offer. I've got so much more to learn and to teach people. And the internet is where it is. So it's a mindset thing for people. And there's thousands out there that, you know, they look at me and go, oh, no, I don't even do that. I mean, I used to teach seniors how to turn a computer on. Push this button and it lights up. Oh, no, I can't touch the buttons. I might break something. You know, that's a mindset of the older people, that when you get anything that's electronic, you look after it and you don't touch it, don't push buttons, don't do this because it'll break. And that's all mindset. But we have a lot to offer to people who are, you know, they've lost their job, they can't work. But, you know, it's all over the world. It's not just here in Australia. We have a solution for people to, you know, really, and everybody like around my age, we've got such experience in our lifetime that if you sit down and I'm a coach, so the people say, oh no, I've done this for 30 years, I don't know anything else. Well, hang on a minute. Tell me all the things that you did, and I'd make them write a list. What are all the things that you did? Now start at the top. To do that thing, what skills did you need? Oh, well, I needed, oh, great. To do this thing, what skills did you need? So you end up with a whole list of skills. Now, if you could have your choice to do anything you wanted to do and you could do it, what would it be? And the light goes on and they go, oh, yeah, I used to want to do this. Great. Now, if you were doing that, tell me the skills that you need to do that. Go over here to your list. Any of those skills.
Oh, she froze up.
That's a great exercise, though. Seriously, that's awesome.
Yeah, it just goes right back to what I was saying about, you know, when I ask a client, where do you want to be in 5 years? Okay, when they tell me, what do we need to do then to get you there? Because it's all baby steps. It's like we all signed up for Builderall and knew nothing about Builderall. And then we're all in different spots in our careers and businesses, you know, and we all have value to give that can piggyback on what we're learning with Builderall, or maybe just taking previous experiences and then helping us to, you know, start whatever business we're doing. So it's really true. It's like, and that's why I tell people all the time, your business can be whatever you want it to be. Build it however you want it to be and structure it however you need it to be for you. How I set my business up and my clients might be completely different than how you do. And it doesn't mean that either way is wrong. It's just whatever fits you the best. And that's what we getting clients, that's what we need to help them figure out is, where do you want to be and how can I help you get there? So that's the goal of every consultation that I have when I talk to someone is, where do you want to be? How can I help you get there?
Bridget, this is Ray. I'm sorry I don't have my camera with me tonight.
Hi,
Can
Ray.
I ask a related question? I have been doing small business support since I retired, small computer support for hardware and software, and I'm branching into website design. I taught computer science for many years. But from the agency standpoint, if you have a novice client that just doesn't know much and has gone ahead, let's say, and joined on the premium plan or even the dollar, and then now it's the premium plan, and he has a website that you sold him maybe 6 months ago and you told him all the things that it could do. Do you ever go back to these people and say, you know, the tools I have can provide other things and other capabilities, and rather than just selling the products you're selling, we can do marketing in many, many different ways. And my question is, if that happens, or if they discover, or even come up and ask you point blank, you know, I'd like more out of what I'm getting here. Do you then tell them all the great capabilities that Builderall has? And of course, you don't even have to mention Builderall, but all the great things that you can do. And do you tell them that and say, well, now I'm going to have to charge you more? Or do you just say, well, we'll figure out something? I mean, do you have echelons or steps in the billing process that you give them as an agency? Go ahead.
I always follow up with my clients, and I like to every month touch base with them, whether it's a phone call or an email. And then I always ask them, like, hey, how are things going? You know, is there something you're struggling with? Is there a way that I can help you? I just always, for one, I want to keep in contact with them. I want my name to be in their thoughts once a month, you know, not just because they saw their payment deducted from their account, but I want them to always be thinking about, when I ask them, what is working, what's not working, and how can I help you? You know, I want them always say, maybe 6 months goes by and they never even reply, but I'm always going to keep you know, my name in their mind. And I'm always going to suggest, like, I just I talked to one of my clients the other day, and I was asking them the same things, like, hey, what's working, what's not working, you know. And then I pointedly asked him, are you ready to start email marketing? Because, you know, it's great to get the leads, but we need to be following up with them. And then we talked about email marketing to add to his plan. And of course, if you're going to do more work, you're going to charge more. So then you could say, you know, right now we're charging you this, but if you wanted to add email marketing, I could do, you know, an email sequence, or I could send out a newsletter once a week or whatever. And then, you know, your new monthly fee would be this. And usually if they're like, as long as I don't have to do anything, sure. Honestly, that's usually because if you're doing things for them, they don't care how it gets done. If you, and you've built that trust with them because you keep asking them, you know, now for 6 months, their website hasn't gone down, or, you know, if something did happen, they've contacted you and you've resolved it. So definitely excellent customer service along the way, but it's also about, you know, keeping in contact with them. And I mean, there's every month, there's an upsell opportunity every month.
Okay. That's my question. So you agree that more work needs to be done. You basically have a static website with the plan, the contract that you showed us, you know, with X number of changes and image changes and all that. So then what do? You just say, okay, we'll negotiate, or do you have a fixed kind of number of hours translates to how much his monthly subscription is going to change?
I never charge by the hour because I don't think
no, I mean mentally.
I don't think I should get penalized because I can do something faster than someone with less experience. So I never charge by the hour.
I agree. But when you mentally figure that out and say, well, this is going to take me a long time. Okay, I'll charge you $40 more a month or something. I mean, where does that come from? You just kind of think about it, or is there an echelon that you've written down that you have that?
Pricing is pretty structured. I mean, I have in the, you know, on the web hosting page that I just shared, that's just a basic thing. But also there's room for, you know, like maybe they're only paying for the hosting and it's one text change and they need 4. I mean, maybe, you know, you could even, if they want 4, it's going to take you, what, an extra 5 minutes. Yeah. But you could say, hey, look, since you've been such a great client, you know, I'm only going to charge you $20 for doing this, you know. Or maybe you can say, oh, since it's your first time and, you know, maybe they haven't contacted you in 3 months, this is the first time, and they just need the, you know, some hours changed on their website or something. It's like, you can say, oh, okay, I'll do this for you. And then, hey, are you interested in email marketing or whatever? So it's really up to you. I mean, if it's something super easy, then maybe offer it as like, hey, you're just an amazing person and you're willing to help them out. Or say, yeah, it's going to be $20. If you have no idea about pricing, go to Fiverr and look at what do people charge when they create an email. You know, like
while I'm at the floor, may I just say one more thing? The services offered are phenomenal here through Builderall, and you especially. You're a jewel. I really appreciate you. But could I say that in the future, we're just looking at the very tip of the iceberg. In the future, this is the way everybody is going to be doing business. And so as who was it? Shelley talked about going down the sidewalk and turning into the next business and asking them if they have a website and all of that. This is just going to explode, and it's a realization that I had not made until recently, how infused we are in the digital and the electronic age. Even though I've taught this for 33 years, it's just, you know, you think that there's a small echelon out there that are not computer literate. But that's not the case. It's just the opposite, the tip of the iceberg. We're dealing with people who don't know much, a lot, but they know a lot more than the average person, even though it's taught in schools. And so all I'm saying is we need to catch it while it's in its infancy and watch it grow and enjoy it.
Yeah, and I like to say right now with coronavirus, it's like we're almost doing a disservice for all these business owners who don't have a website, or they don't have the ability to, you know, for someone to place an order online and do the no contact, you know, with the customer. Any way that you can reduce the no contact, it's like, not only are you just helping to reduce the spread of coronavirus, but you're also helping them keep their business alive at such a scary time. I mean, those bills are still rolling through every single month, but they're not making as much money. So it's like, it's almost cruel to have all this knowledge and all these skills and tools and abilities, and then not be providing that to people who need it so much right now.
Thank you.
Does anybody else have questions?
On the Uber Eats and like Gloria Food side of things, if you've got friends or family that run restaurants, the Uber Eats and the like charge, I think it's 40% or something. They charge a lot for a delivery fee. So if you can set up a site and do a chat bot, nice customer service chat bot, etc., for a restaurant, and set up that Gloria Foods app where they can order and have a family member run the food out, and they've still got more clientele that they're able to service. Exactly. I think that's a great perspective, Bridget, to think that you're actually, you're not preying on people. You're actually helping others promote and get the eyeballs, you know, on whatever they're selling. So I think that's an awesome perspective.
Yeah, it's all about providing solutions, you know, that they need them. They really need them. And like the most heartfelt way, they really, really need the help. So it's like, why not, you know, call them and offer to help. Like, you know, I think when something like this happens, everybody looks for like, how can I help? How can I help people? And this is exactly the way. So we can help people and make money at the same time, doing what we love to do. It's just a genius equation.
I can see Linda Kay, her hand, it's melding into the background a bit. So I think Linda Kay had a question for you, Bridget.
She's on a different screen. Oh, I see you. I'm so sorry. Linda Kay, you are front and center. How can I help?
All right. Next week, I have a presentation with 4 of my friends that I have been networking with for years. They have finally, I've been talking about Builderall for at least 3 years now. And they finally all decided, yes, they want to know more about Builderall. They want me to do a presentation for them. My question is any of the Fab Five done a great intro to Builderall? I mean, there's so much stuff out there. I'm looking at different people's stuff, and it's like, did somebody already do this, or am I recreating it from scratch, or, you know, something that somebody's already done?
I don't really know. Jean or Jackie, do you know of a presentation? I think in the branding kit, we used to have a presentation, but I don't know how up to date that is.
I think most of us have touched on it bits and pieces, like maybe an introduction to the knowledge base in our units. And then later on, we've got specific tool, but not one. I don't think any of us has done a complete training as to, I don't know if you guys done it in your course, but in my course, I did a run through of the knowledge base, not knowledge base, the dashboard and that kind of stuff. But I don't think we really have. It depends on Linda Kay. What are you meaning if you say, is it just to go run what's on the dashboard, or what each of the tools can do? What specific training do you think is required?
They probably just need to know what they can do with it. I've been talking about it so long that they're just, okay, I give up. You know, I need to know about it. Tell me about it. And it's like, oh my God, there's so many things I can tell you.
What about the demo funnel?
Yeah, you could do the demo funnel, but also on the main website now, there's like there's that website 200
Yes.
uses for build. That's a great example of that, of a, you know, what you are capable of doing, and it breaks it down by, you know, basically here's 200 things you could do with Builderall. There is and it's an older one, but just to give you an idea, there is a PowerPoint presentation. I shared the Google file here. It's in the branding kit on the left-hand side. If you click affiliates and then go on the left-hand side to branding kit and you scroll down, it'll take you to a presentation. So you could use that if you want to and edit it and do whatever you want to. But yeah, that website, and let me see if I can figure out the domain for it.
You know what's also very cool is the assistant that we have on Knowledge Base.
Yes.
I mean, it really guides you through the whole process. What is it that you want to do? And depending on the answer that you give, it puts you into different directions. It's really worth it to go and look at that specific tool.
Great.
Yeah. I think I was trying to, okay. Yeah, it's 200.builderall.com. I'll put the link in the chat as well. And that is 200 ways to use Builderall. So you can check that out as well.
I think
I see just now in the chat, in the chat, there's an option that says, show me what I can do. So the moment you press that, it gives you build a website, create a sales page, create a blog, build an e-learning, create a membership page. It actually lists everything that you can do within Builderall if you use the chatty option.
That's a great place to start. Thank you. Yeah.
Hey, I think what Linda was also asking is like how we do in network marketing. We have a business presentation for each company. So I'm gonna share. This is old, so you can probably, I guess, recreate this. This was done a while back. I'm sending you guys the link, and it was actually created inside the Pixel Perfect. But it's a presentation that they did once in one of our Builderall webinars, and it goes over Builderall, what it is, and certain things about the tools and the affiliates. So you can look at that and see if maybe that's something that you might be looking to like recreate. You could definitely recreate it inside Cheetah fairly quick.
Awesome. And you know, one thing that I like to do, and I did a video about this in my group, like when you have a consultation with a client, they don't know what a lead magnet funnel is or why they need one. So get into the funnel builder and build a lead magnet funnel and show them and explain each step and say, here's an opt-in page. Now you need an opt-in page because XYZ. Now here's an email confirmation page because double opt-in, you get a higher quality list. So if you do choose that over single opt-in, you know, you need a confirmation page. Explain to them every step and why they need it. And then the cool part is, and look, when you're done building all this out, click the button and now your website's done. Now you make it pretty. So it's like just doing that whole presentation in the funnel builder and then clicking the button. It's like sold.
Guys, I have to leave. I just say goodbye. It was nice seeing you guys again, but I have to drop off. I've got something urgent to go and attend to. Bye, guys.
Bye, Jackie. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Good night.
I think the list that Jackie was talking about, I think you ought to take and look that up and print out a copy for each one of those people. If they're coming over, if they're doing it online, you can send them the email. But I think a physical list like that, plus the 200 website you show them, but they can read that physical list, that really is powerful.
Yeah. Yeah, because on the list, you can even like make notes and stuff. So maybe as you're doing the presentation, they can write down, oh, I can do this for this,
It's so perfect. And you can always infuse, like if your strengths, infuse your strengths within your presentation to add to it, because that way you'll attract more value.
Yeah, and ask each individual one, like say, oh, look at, here's how great and all that stuff. Bye. Have a good night. And then ask them, like, where do you, just like I was saying, just like you would do a consultation, where do you want to be in 5 years? What, if you could if the alarm went off and you woke up, what would you be excited to do in your day? And then build from there and say, now here's how you can use Builderall to do that. So there's
my greatest fear with this thing is I've known these people for so long. It's like they are gonna.
Yeah. I actually had a client contact me. He thought he wanted to build an e-commerce website to do drop shipping. By the end of the conversation, he was going to start building up his, he was in a music band, and he was going to start building that up and doing videos on YouTube. And it just completely blew his mind because he never actually thought he could make money with his music. He just thought he contacted me to learn how to do an e-commerce store. So it's all, they have no idea what the possibilities are. And so that's why Builderall is easy to sell, because it sells itself. You're really just telling them, look, you want to do that? That's awesome. Here's the tool to help you do it.
You know, it's funny. I talked to somebody the other day and he asked me what I did and I told him, and he goes, oh, he says, I should probably learn how to sell something online. He says, I probably shouldn't say this, but I'm a hoarder. And it's like, well, that would be perfect for you.
Yeah, selling on the auction funnel. Have him create auctions to start selling all of his stuff.
Yeah.
That's what I would instantly say. You need this auction funnel. Tyree, you have a question?
I know it's getting late and everything, and I know that we normally like to keep these about an hour and a half, but do you know that you just gave me over 400 pieces of information? You just gave me information to create over 400 blogs about Builderall when you showed that 200.builderall.com. I mean, really, seriously, because it has every tool, but then, and I was clicking through it while you all were talking, so when you click each one of those names on the side of the tool, that's something about the tool, but in a, you know, something they can add about the tool. So that's a presentation right there. But you can, it's like over 400 different things with this. It's like almost like 1,000 blogs. Do you know how good that looks in a search engine? Especially if you SEO it with the Builderall search SEO tool. Do you know what you just did to me? Seriously.
I want to
you know, Judy's gonna strangle me when I tell her, because I'm gonna show her how to do it. She's gonna put me in timeout because I'm gonna need a straitjacket to hug myself. Do you know what you just did to me? Really?
You're so funny.
God, business is looking out. Wow.
I am so excited. If you're excited, I'm excited because it makes me more excited to see you excited. You guys have anything else before we jump off here and I see who is the president of our country?
Thanks so much, Bridget. You did a great job. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
You did a great job.
Thank you.
Thank you, Bridget.
Thank
Another
you.
fantastic TNT.
Bye, guys.
In the link that you sent over, the Google link, it's just like a blank presentation.
Well, it should be a PowerPoint.
Well, it's a blank PowerPoint.
Oh.
I'm getting a 400 error on that link.
Oh, a 400 error? That's weird.
Oh no, that might be. Sorry, I reckon that's me. I've copied the Google Drive and the 200.builderall together. That might be why.
I'm getting the link,
I'm
but
looking
it's
at
just
it too.
Lorem Ipsum.
It is a blank presentation. That's really weird. I knew that it was old. I'm going to actually make a note about that too. I knew that it was old, but I when I saw it there, I thought it was still there.
I think it's just a template for you to actually just have where you can place and create your presentation. I think that's what it is. Or it could be wrong.
Well, I know that we used to have it, but I mean, when I say used to, that was like 2 years ago. So I know that, I mean, unless they've updated, but that 200 builderall.com, I would use that anyway over this because it's updated. It was just created for the launch. So I would definitely use that because it has all the new stuff, the new tools and everything.
And also I got a question here real quick. For you to find it, just go into your affiliate section and you'll see it there under the premium funnels, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah. go to affiliate section, and then on the left-hand side, scroll all the way down to where it says branding kit. And then if you click there, you'll also get access to the Trello board. So if you guys haven't done that, there's so many resources there. Also, you can download the logo and then get some other images and stuff. So, and that's part of that presentation.
Hey, Bridget, this is Stacy. I said bye and I never left because you guys are still talking. And you know, I have FOMO. I didn't want to miss anything. So, but I want to tell you something. Let you nor I or anybody else pretend like we're going to know tonight or any night in the next probably 3 to 4 to 5 days who our new president is or our next president is. So let's not even pretend. We're not going to know tonight, and you know that.
It's all part of the experience. Like, you know how you watch the Super Bowl and then each you know, team starts scoring and you're, oh my gosh, this just happened. That's really what it all is. You know, it's just my Super Bowl. My husband and I get into it, and it's just the thing. So I guess the longer it goes off, that's just my Super Bowl.
The more exciting, more extended it is for you. There you go. There you go. Well, anyway, I am going to go now. Good night, everybody.
Have a good night, everyone.
Good night, everybody. Go build something amazing, as Shelley would say.
Go build it with Builderall.
Good night, everyone.
Build it with Builderall. Good night, everybody.